homework till the last minute. The planned Port Antonio bypass is being presented as a major step forward for development in Portland. But the project is also raising questions about its human impact, with more than 300 structures expected to be affected.
Wow.
What does affected mean? We're joined by the Member of Parliament for East Portland and Spokesperson on Youth and Human Rights, Isat Buchanan.
Morning.
So
Morning.
Is this a 6-7 kind of?
No.
Are we like
No.
good, bad?
No, it's horrible.
It's horrible.
Wow.
It's horrible for the 300 plus structures that you spoke about.
Okay. All right. We often talk about the price of development. So how we get development without some people being affected?
So I start by saying development generally in a developing country is always good. How we do it, it must be done with human dignity, consideration for people, and also just the human rights element of it. So everybody's happy for a bypass, but then there are persons who are attached to land, which is unique. Family members are buried in rural areas. Family members are buried on the lot. So when we think about even how land is passed, we have the issues where in Jamaica they talk about squatters. But to be a squatter, it's really the process of adverse possession. It's a part of English law, and adverse possession is there so that people don't have land sitting idly. So you're going to have to be able to make the assessment as to who is the property owner.
Yeah.
And I am guided by section 15 of the Charter of Rights.
Okay. I want to come down. I want to back up a little bit because a lot of people who don't know what is this bypass, what problem is it supposed to solve. Tell me a little bit about it. What's the bypass? And
All
where?
right, so the Port Antonio bypass is an extension of the South Coast Highway.
Okay.
So that's the St. Thomas coming around like the belt, the East Coast belt. It's supposed to ease traffic and just ease of going around Jamaica. It's a part of the development of the country generally. If you look at Montego Bay, there is a outer perimeter road. So we understand that. And when you go to Port Antonio, the town is small. The road network, especially in the town, Prospect and Port Antonio, single lane. Single lane and sometimes no sidewalks. So to ease the traffic congestion, obviously the bypass is going to do that. Plus it's going to open up new land and the possibility of new development, housing solutions across Jamaica.
Okay.
Period. But the issue is the 313, my math is bad, I say 19 structures. That's what I have on my thing. And just where will the people go? The good news is I had the opportunity during Standing Finance Committee to speak to both ministers, Works and the land, which is Robert Montague, the Honourable, and Morgan, both. They have assured me that the Prime Minister has said that they're going to go with a unique solution, which is replacement value rather than market value. We'll see how that works, because provided that persons are given land or relocated and is allowed to build, because the economy, inflation hits, you can't buy block, you can't buy cement, all of these things, that they are not displaced.
These structures are mainly homes. Are we talking about homes?
Yes, the structure majority are homes, an average of 6 persons. So it's 300 structures times 6, you have 1,800 persons.
Yeah.
Are we looking at like a single community? I'm trying to figure in my head exactly where in Portland the bypass will be.
Right. So it's going through the mountains from Norwich to Turtle Crawl.
Okay.
So it's going to be over, and we can talk about other issues that may arise that NEPA has to address. But the way how it's going, it's almost like, I call it the Silver Surfer. If you watch Fantastic Four, it's just destroying everything in its path. To get this beautiful road, it's at the expense of persons, property,
Norwich, we're talking some coconut trees and banana.
Just the land, the environment, everything, and it's above the town.
But let me ask you, and people say devil's advocate. I don't believe in devil's anything, so a dong devil. I'm saying, but when we think of bypasses, Generally, we have faced these issues, no? Invariably, you will face these issues, no? How has it been dealt with in previous situations?
Which is what I'm saying. Previously, or the general rule is speaking about the land acquisition, and you would have heard it in the space, Section 3 notice, then Section 5, an opportunity for persons to negotiate, and then when there's a stalemate, then the legislation comes in. The Constitution, however, says that you must give the person, you establish their interest or right, if any, determining the compensation, if any, to which he or she is entitled, and enforcing his right to any such compensation. So all of that means that a court sometimes will have to make the determination.
Matters take.
It takes a long time. Now, the best solution is to ensure that people are not displaced. So while before persons just took market value and they were removed, this is a situation, we are post-Melissa. There are people homeless by a natural disaster. The thought or idea that you'd make 300 plus structures destroyed or removed and 1,800 people displaced is a little bit alarming. So to be fair, there are some people who are happy and ready to sell. But so everybody is situated differently. So it's something that is working. My hope and prayer is that it won't be contentious. The sounding, although there are people who don't want to leave.
You get no, because Stephen Shaw has said that they're ensuring that there's proper engagement of the affected parties. This is supposed to start pretty soon, no?
It started. They have started on government land, which is their right to do. The sounding on the ground, and I can tell you, I describe it as being 17 and knowing you're going to be 18 tomorrow. Your mother say, I can't wait. So that feeling of where am I going to go? Am I really going to be homeless? Is an anxiety that people don't want to have. I have offered my services for free to the constituents. It's non-political. I stick by that. I will get assistance from other persons in the legal fraternity who will assist. As I said, it's a sensitive issue. We want development, but it must be done with respect and, respect for human dignity and respect for Section 15 of the Constitution.
Wow. I'm listening and I'm wondering, well, maybe I don't have the information in terms of, sometimes I feel like our people are just they don't get enough information, and they're not informed about their rights and the ways that they should go about things. And sometimes I wonder, how do we improve that for our citizens in Jamaica?
Well, the Constitution says everything done by state actors must be demonstrably justifiable.
Right.
It's not just a phrase or something in the legislation, in the Constitution. It's actually, we have one of the most prospective and robust protection of rights section in a Constitution, 13.2. And what I will say is people just need to understand, once we have the conversation and people get to realize that they're not being displaced. I get a sense that people just don't want to be homeless.
Yes, as
at the expense of any progress that we're talking about. Development in Jamaica, improvement of Jamaica must be done with inclusion of the people.
So common man is not thinking about, Jamaica's going to benefit. He's like, where am I going to sleep?
No, but it's not just the common man. We must all think about the least among us, because I can tell you this. There's an issue with Blue Lagoon. It's a ripe issue. There's no conversations about land acquisitions for the rich. If the rich were to wake up and hear that my beach home property is going to be acquired so that the rest of Jamaica can enjoy Blue Lagoon, there would be litigation beyond our existence. So we have to think, if we have respect for the rich, we must have respect for the least among us. So what I'm trying to do is not engage myself in a gadfly, disruptive exercise, because we want the development.
It is necessary, and I think it will bring a lot
when
to
I
Portland.
say it, it sounds like, 6, 7. But the reality is, if one person is homeless at the end of it. And irregardless of whether you own the land, you're squatting, and a government land, put them somewhere. I have identified land in Pasley Gardens, Ponciana Park, none such. It's time to have conversations and treat the Portland situation different from that Silver Surfer, just road, and we don't care what people do.
Well, I'm heartened by the fact that you say you spoke with both ministers, albeit briefly, and they are open.
They responded, and so I'm not contentious because I'm hopeful.
Okay. I'm hopeful as well. Development is important, but I'm glad that it will stay that way. I have faith in them that they're going to work it out. All right. Well, Portland people, I'm excited for the road because I love Portland, but I also want to know that the people are okay.
Yeah, that is so.
All right. Thank you, Isat Buchanan, Member of Parliament, Eastern Portland, and Spokesperson on Youth and Human Rights.
After the break, we're discussing navigating pregnancy and postpartum with pre-existing mental health concerns and how the right support system can make all the difference for a healthy mom and a healthy baby. On the other side of this break.